p.m. here in Douala, the regional capital of the littoral. And today is also the 18th day of July, and we are on to Canal, the English, and it is news time. I am Elie Smith. The headlines. Another bus coalition in Douala, and in this newscast, Crystal Katala will be telling us the circumstances under which it happened. The remains of his lordship, Jean-Benoit Bala, has been returned to the Catholic Church and also to his family. And today is Nelson Mandela Day. What are the legacies of the great South African leader? And if the first black president of South Africa were alive today, he would have turned 99 years old. Those were the headlines. Two interurban transport buses collided early this morning at Marché de Fleur, few meters away from the Douala International Airport. Crystal Katala has more on the accident.
They almost had a surf journey. Unfortunately, were stuck in the early hours this morning at Marché de Fleur, few meters away from the Douala International Airport. Passengers of these two inter-transport buses were carried away by fear when their buses ran onto a visibly broken truck parked on the pavement. Eyewitness accounts that the accident is as a result of high speed. The driver arrived on high speed, while this truck had a breakdown, and there was a taxi who was trying to overtake. So the driver was trying to avoid the taxi, that is why he knocked the truck. When we arrived here, there was no sign to show that this truck had a breakdown. We also noticed that the 30-seater bus had an accident. The incident also caused traffic on the highway. I arrived this morning at +5 and discovered that the road was blocked. This taxi was parked here. There was no way to circulate. No serious casualties were registered, no death, but a huge material damage. These passengers left the West region Monday night and arrived Douala this morning.
From the accident at the entrance of the Douala to another important day. Today is November 18, which is observed as Nelson Mandela International Day. The day was declared in November 2009 by the United Nations in recognition of the former South African president's contribution to the culture of peace and freedom. For 67 years, Nelson Mandela devoted his life to the service of humanity as a human rights lawyer, a prisoner of conscience, an international peacemaker, and the first democratically elected black president of South Africa. The Nelson Mandela Foundation is dedicating this year's Mandela Day to action against poverty, honoring Nelson Mandela's leadership and devotion to fighting poverty and promoting social justice for all in South Africa and beyond. And we'll be coming back to a story on the situation in Kumbo, where a young girl is, well, that story perhaps is not yet ready, but we'll be looking at another story where the funeral program for the late Bishop of Bafia is scheduled for August 17. The announcement was made on the 17th after the bishop's remains was identified and collected by the Catholic Church and also his family. For more, Beatrice Ngamo.
Cold and quiet morning at mortuary of the Yaoundé General Hospital. Outside, some few individuals, forces of law and order, and the press nosing for information. Inside is the corpse of the late Bishop of Bafia, Monsignor Jean-Marie Benoit Bala, placed before the officials of the Roman Catholic Church in Cameroon at the head, the President of the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon, Monsignor Samuel Cleda, the Procureur General, the special units of gendarmes and police, cousin of the late Bishop, CEO of Yaoundé 5 and hospital director. This for identification. Identification number 2. The first after he was found, and then this other after all the medical and forensic reports. Unfortunately, all was behind closed doors. Attempts to squeeze information difficult. The Secretary General of the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon said the bishops will make statements later. Even the sheriff bailiff brought by the church was not allowed to be part of the identification team.
The Parquet General have said that they cannot permit me to do a report because it's a technical work who is the appellage of the police and the gendarmerie.
The nephew of the late bishop, our next target, but he said he was called to identify the uncle and he has done so, nothing more or less.
Je suis venu identifier le corps de mon oncle, je l'ai identifié, c'est lui, je crois que...
Et qui vous a demandé de ne pas parler à la presse?
It is this July 17, 2017, that the Catholic Church officially receives the mortal remains of Bishop Jean-Marie Benoit Bala are released this July 17 by the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon, says the church will organize the burial from Wednesday 2nd to Thursday the 3rd of August, but the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon further states that complaints against X for the murder of Bishop Jean-Marie Bala will have still face the law.
We'll stay in Yaoundé, where kidney patients yesterday blocked the main entrance to the general hospital in the nation's capital, decrying the lack of treatment. The lack of treatment. Those who are victims are patients suffering from kidney, and they have cried foul for the lack of dialysis. More on this once again, our Yaoundé Bureau Chief, Beatrice Ngamo.
Papa Namba Polycarp has been on hemodialysis treatment for over 4 years. The absence of this precious treatment kit having its toll on his feet already, all swollen.
Normally we are supposed to have 4 treatment a week. But since we know that it's not easy, they allowed us to get 2 treatment a week. But now, even the 2 we don't have.
The consequences goes even further.
Since 2 weeks, I have lost 2 people because of lack of material. And
last June 30th, Public Health Minister announced the arrival of some 4,500 kits, but after 2 weeks of wait, nothing. The patients, this July 17, took the Yaoundé General Hospital on hostage, blocking the main entrance. Block notes, microphones, cameras, what they allow through the main gate. Their grievances this day covers this and the non-functioning of the dialysis machines.
we're supposed to have 17 machines, but now there are 10 machines. 10 machines out of 150 can do what? And then all the 10 machines are not moving well.
The messages they carry summarized their grievances.
It's not the first time they are dipping us like that. They are saying every time, no, you should go and wait. If you want that all of us dies, there's no problem.
This morning they told us the director said he has called the minister for supply. Supplies.
It is quite shocking that people will be dying here in Cameroon because they don't have simple, basic dialysis, while there are some government officers who go to Yaoundé for their own treatment. Meanwhile, it appears as though it was a wishful thinking that we could eradicate plastic bags in the country. But at the Douala 2 municipality, there is a program by recruiting 750 youth. The idea behind that is perhaps to, at a long last, eradicate plastic bags in that locality of the economic capital. Regina Fonja-Leke was there and brought back this report.
It is holidays again, and these young people gathered here are set for the 10th edition of the Holidays Youth Employment Program. Organized by the Douala 2 Council, the aim of the program is to occupy youth during this period when they are not in school and permit them make money to support their parents in the upcoming school year. We took this engagement because we wanted youth to stay out of trouble during these holidays by involving them in a meaningful activity. We would involve them in clean-up campaigns and other activities that would help keep the city clean.
Les jeunes éprouvaient d'énormes difficultés pour préparer leur rentrée scolaire.
The youth say the opportunity will help them keep Douala 2 clean. I hope to project the vision of Douala 2 and to show to everyone that Douala 2 can also be clean, not like some people think that Douala 2 is the last. We are ready to work for our council. For others, the revenue gotten from this activity will be vital to assist their parents. This job will help me support my parents, given they don't have enough money to send me to school, to help them pay my school fees and also support at home. The youth, 750 of them, will in the weeks ahead be involved in a massive cleanup campaign. Focus will be laid on doing away with plastic bags, a menace that has besieged the city for long. The Youth Holidays program was launched on July 17, 2017 in the city of Douala.
We remain here in the nation's economic capital, but we're taking you to a fishing port, which is a neighborhood here in Douala called Yupwe. As Crystal Katala tells us in the report that follows, fishermen there claim because it is raining season, fish is also abundant. Crystal Katala.
It's past 9 a.m. at the Yupwe fish port. Places are calm and not crowded. Reason? The canoe has already accosted and supplied fishes. Elie, who is one of the fishermen here, says the activity has no precise time nor day. It depends on the tide. Fishermen usually leave in the evening to spend some 3 days in the waters so as to come back with the cargo. According to him, the rainy season is an appropriate period for fishing. One finds species like bar, catfish, and others. Fishes are then supplied to wholesalers and retailers who sell to customers. All types, sizes, and colors are available for potential buyers at affordable prices. The fishing activity does not go without difficulties. Apart from the lack of quality equipment, fishermen constantly encounter problems with the Chinese who violate the law by fishing beyond the 3 nautical miles. These at times destroy their nets and canoes.
We do control fishermen. We control industrial fishing, semi-industrial fishing, and artisanal fishing. That's our job. We control fishermen, those who do good fishing and those who do bad fishing, like these Chinese people. We mostly control them offshore, up there at the sea. You know, they do industrial fishing, and these other young fishermen here, they do better artisanal fishing. You know, industrial fishing, you can't go beyond the limit of those who are doing artisanal fishing. But the Chinese people, they do violate the law.
Fishermen of Yupwe are pleading on the government to regulate this sector, which is their only source of living.
We only hope that the forces of the authorities will listen to the pleas of these fishermen, the artisanal fishermen, whose trade is under threat by the Chinese. It is on this very excellent note by Crystal Katala that we are putting an end to this edition of the news here at Canal 2. Please do not go away. Coming up is the program Obusi, a rebroadcast, in fact, of Obusi, presented by the one and only Senator Cletus. And standing here at 8 o'clock p.m. tonight will be Henry Kejang Atembe. Tomorrow is another day.